Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip.
When did I start this show and why? This official show? It used to be called the Pre-Stream Podcast, and we started it in the fall of 2021 because basically here's the deal. I've been live streaming full-time since 2017. And what I mean by that is I'm a full-time streamer first and a content creator, like on-demand creator second. Okay, my streams are my priority. What I found is every day what I liked to do is I like to turn on my stream and talk with my audience. And what I would do is I would actually do this. You ready? This is actually what the stream would look like. It would just be a screen with a bunch of overlays running. And I would talk to you guys for like an hour like this. And eventually people were like, dude, if you're going to do that, like that's annoying. We don't like that. We'd rather talk directly to you and interact with you and have it be like a show rather than you talking to, like we're talking to ads, right? So after like years of doing that, because I used to do that for years, after listening to your feedback, I said, all right then, what I'd like to do is I would like to change it up and have it become an actual show. So we started calling it the Pre-Stream, then we started calling it the Pre-Stream Podcast, and then eventually it evolved into the Level 1 Podcast, and this show has evolved. Now we have topics, right? We actually have segments and topics and things that we do on the show to be expected. There are now people who regularly tune in just to this podcast and aren't usually interested in some of the gameplay I'm doing, but they'll still watch the podcast daily. That's cool. That's good. That's called diversification of content. Rather than only doing one kind of content, now I'm doing more. I'm expanding. People are watching me for various different reasons, getting to know me for different reasons. That's a good thing. I'm happy for that. So that's really how it all started. Now, the funny part about that is people used to hate on me because they would say, oh, instead of Phil just turning on his stream and playing games like all other streamers, he sits there and he talks to his audience with a bunch of ads running and stuff. And therefore, you know, this is dumb. He kills his audience and stuff like that. He used to say nonsense like that. People used to hate on me and criticize me. So then I turned it into a podcast. I've officially started scheduling it saying, no, you can't hate on me when I'm running an official podcast every day. If you don't want to see the podcast, don't come for it. Come later. Come around 12:45 p.m. Pacific time. That's when the gameplay will start. If you're here for gameplay, 12:45 p.m. Outside of that, it's always the podcast before, so you can only have yourself to blame if you came too early. But the funny part about that is, you know, the last year to 2 years, my wife and I have started watching other YouTubers and the kind of content that they do. Literally none of them do this. Literally every one of them turns on their stream, turns on their camera, and just gabs with their audience for an hour. Every single one that I've watched does this. Okay? They don't call it a podcast. They don't separate it out. It's just expected. And the funny part about it, they don't edit their videos. They only upload their videos in one unedited clump. So let's say, for example, someone right now was playing Hogwarts Legacy, and you want to watch the next 3 to 4 hours of gameplay that they played of Hogwarts Legacy. Too bad. It's one video. It's a 5-hour block. You got to fast forward to an hour of them doing Q&A and interacting with their audience to get to the gameplay. You know, the stuff that I stopped doing 100 years ago. I mean, I've always edited my content into separate parts, so you don't have to watch what you don't want to watch. These are people who are much bigger than me, who are much more popular, and no one complains. Everyone is okay with this the way they do it. Literally, they're doing half the work that I do on a daily basis. They are not editing their videos to be separate. They are not making podcasts. They're just doing a stream, shooting the shit, playing the game, done for the day. That's their content. And for some reason, it's good enough for them, these people who are 5 times bigger than me, but it's not good enough for me. It's not. Oh, how dare you? So that's what I told you guys. After actually doing research on all of this stuff in the last couple of years, what I've realized is that the internet has been insanely unfair to me. They always want to say, no matter how I do it, it's wrong. So I don't listen anymore. If you want to give me constructive criticism, that's one thing. But to tell me that what I'm doing is bad, just to find out literally every other content creator does it that way, and they're okay, but it's not me. That's unfair, and I'm not accepting that kind of nonsense anymore. I'm just not, okay? Especially when, in my content, I'm going the extra mile. I split the podcast separate from the gameplay. I separate the gameplay into digestible 1-hour clumps. I title each piece of gameplay specifically to what happens in the gameplay so you know what's in it. None of the people I watch do that. They literally have 4-hour segment, clump, lump, no effort. Here's just the raw video. 5 times to my viewership, 5 times the amount of money being made on their business. For what? So I'm done with the nonsense. I really am. Like, you get to a point, I've come to realize the real reason that I'm at the level I'm at is because of my fucking hater base. You know, I've worked so hard to keep everything going, and I'm not going to allow nonsense to stop me anymore. I'm going to do meaningful content. I'm going to have pride in my work, and I'm not going to let these shitheads hold me down. You know, I would be so much bigger, if it weren't for having an insane viral group of haters constantly slandering me every day. So fuck them. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And that, you know, I love this podcast. I love my content. I'm going to keep going the way I'm going. All right.
I got the drip going. 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 It's like a faucet that's dripping. Can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.